The penthouse was quiet when they got back. The staff had turned the lights low and left champagne on ice and then, tactfully, made themselves absent, the way good staff understood without being told. Outside, the city was its usual relentless self. Inside, it was just the two of them and the low lamp in the living room, and the question that had been building all evening. Valentina set her clutch on the console table and turned to find Matteo watching her from the doorway, his jacket off, tie loosened, looking, she had to admit, like a very expensive problem she was increasingly willing to have.
"We agreed on separate bedrooms,"
she said.
"We did."
"That's still the agreement."
"Yes."
She looked at him. He looked at her. The champagne on the side table was doing nothing to lower the temperature of the room.
"Then why?"
she said.
"Are you standing there like that?"
"Like what?"
"Like you're staying."
He pushed off the door frame and crossed the room toward her, slow and deliberate, and she held her ground because she was Valentina Greco, and she did not retreat, even when every nerve in her body was staging a quiet mutiny. He stopped just in front of her, close enough that she could see the dark of his eyes and the faint pulse at his jaw, and the careful, controlled set of his expression that was, she now understood, the face of a man holding a very great deal very tightly.
"I want to show you something,"
he said. She tilted her head.
"That's an interesting sentence."
Something flickered in his face. Amusement, she thought, genuine and brief.
"The rooftop,"
he said.
"Come."
The rooftop garden was not something she'd known existed. It was the full footprint of the building, planters of late-season rosemary and olive trees in enormous terracotta pots, a table and 2 chairs facing the skyline, and a view of Central Park at night that made her breath leave her body. She stood at the railing and looked at it.
"You have a rooftop garden,"
she said.
"My mother planted the olives."
He stood beside her, close but not touching.
"She said if she had to live in New York, she was going to grow something Mediterranean or she would lose her mind."
"Where is she now?"
"Ravello. She retired the year I took over and went home and has been growing lemons and ignoring my calls ever since."
Valentina laughed, actually laughed, surprised by it, and felt him turn slightly toward the sound.
"She sounds wonderful,"
she said.
"She is."
A pause.
"She'd like you."
Valentina looked at the park below, the dark mass of it amid the light grid.
"Have you told her about the arrangement?"
"I told her I was getting married."
"And?"
She said, "Finally." And then she asked if you were funny. I said yes. She said, "Good. You need someone who will laugh at you."
Valentina looked at him. He was looking at the skyline.
"She's not wrong,"
she said.
"She never is. It's extremely irritating."
She turned back to the view, and they stood in the comfortable quiet for a while, which surprised her. That it was comfortable. That standing next to Matteo Ricci in the cold October night felt, against all reason, like somewhere she was meant to be.
"I did a terrible thing to you,"
he said. The words were quiet and directed at the city, not at her. She waited.
"Putting you in this position. Even with clean motives, it was still a cage I built and called it protection."
He paused.
"I've been trying to find a way to say that since the night you came to my door."
"You said it now."
she said.
"Yes."
"Better late than never."
He exhaled, almost a laugh. Not quite. She turned to face him. He turned too, and they were close in the way the night and the small table and the railing made inevitable. And she looked at his face. Really looked. The scar and the careful eyes and the jaw that held 10 years of things unsaid, and thought, I am in so much trouble. She reached up and put her hand on his chest. Just her palm over his heart. She felt it. The steady, slightly faster than usual beat of it.
"Matteo,"
she said. He looked down at her hand, then her face.
Tell me to go inside,
he said.
I'll go inside.
I don't want you to go inside,
she said. He brought his hand up and covered hers, both of them still, the city humming 40 stories below. Then he bent his head, slowly, giving her every opportunity to stop him. And when she didn't, he kissed her. It was not a performance kiss. It was not the kind of kiss people do for the benefit of a room. It was private and deliberate and warm. And he kissed her like she was the answer to something he'd been carrying for a very long time. Unhurried, thorough, his free hand at her jaw, the other still holding hers against his chest. She kissed him back. She made a choice, clear-eyed and present, and kissed him back. When they separated, she was breathing differently, and so was he.
The separate bedrooms,
she said after a moment.
Still the agreement,
he said, low, rough at the edges. She looked at him. He looked at her.
Agreements,
she said carefully,
can be renegotiated.
His hand at her jaw moved, traced her cheekbone, the curve of her ear, settled warm at the side of her throat.
Valentina.
Her name in his voice, like that, was not a sentence. It was a question.
My terms,
she said.
We renegotiate.
He brought her back to him, and this time neither of them was careful at all. Her bedroom, not his. She wasn't ready for his world yet, only hers. But she took his hand and led him there, and he followed like a man who would follow her anywhere and had been waiting to be asked. He was, as it turned out, as careful as everything else about him suggested, except that careful, in this context, meant thorough, attentive, infuriatingly perceptive, like he had been paying attention to her in ways she hadn't realized and had stored every observation and was now, patiently, putting them to use. She forgot several things she'd intended to say. She stopped trying. Later, much later, she lay in the dark with his arm across her waist and listened to his breathing settle into sleep and thought about 10 years and photographs and something I have no right to call mine and the way he'd kissed her like she was something he hadn't let himself believe in. She turned her head and looked at the line of his profile in the dark. She was, she acknowledged, with the calm clarity of someone who has done the math and found an answer they weren't expecting, completely undone. She closed her eyes. His arm pulled her fractionally closer in his sleep. She let herself be held.